Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of KigerCraft. I'm KigerCraft here with Kieran, and today we are going to work on a few random things around the castle. First things first, we need to empty out our inventories, well my inventory specifically, from Saturday's live stream because I haven't done it yet because I'm lazy. I need to find myself a fortune. Do I not have a fortune pick? There should be. Oh, there it is. Bear's got one. Alright, so we are, you know, I have a ton of this. I'm probably just gonna do a little bit of this just so I can have some quartz to work with. I'm not gonna make you guys sit here and watch me do the everything. But basically, I'm going to be needing some because in our last video, Joel Green asked us when we were going to go back to the board for, you know, ideas that you guys had submitted. And actually, to be honest, I had been sort of knowing that the board was there, sort of thing. So I have been meaning to go back to it for quite some time now, and now that Joel has mentioned something, I feel like I should probably just stop procrastinating and just get it done. And that's actually probably what I'm going to do. The reason why I'm gathering quartz right now is because I want to see about adjusting some of the older areas that I've mined out. Specifically, the quote-unquote dining area. I had planned to put one in originally, and Kasdan had suggested that I do one, sort of a dining hall. But the problem is that the dining hall was done back before I really sort of knew what I was doing. So it's not exactly done very well. So it's going to be one of those things that I'm going to have to re-engineer, so to speak, like how I've re-engineered the hallway and now the keep. Just sort of redesigning them, updating them, changing some things around. You know, applying the things that I've learned. Basically since we started playing, which was just a short time before we actually started putting videos up. So the entire time that you guys have sort of been sitting here watching us, we've been learning how to Minecraft. So it's actually nice to sort of go back and look at these older builds and just sort of go, oh, you know, this isn't right, but realize now that I can change it if I so want to. So let's see here. Where am I gonna put this? I'll put it all in here. So I've got a stack and a teeny bit, so that should be more than enough. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Put that in there. Put the silk touch in there. I'll take this one just in case this one breaks. Okay, alright, so let me show you guys what I'm talking about. In fact, you know what, before I do that, let me just go ahead and make a diamond pick real quick, because we are sort of desperately low on working picks. They are all freaking silk touch, which I mean is great, you know, but you can't silk touch everything. You need you know, a working pick, you know, like a fortune and you know, just a Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 4, and whatnot. So, alright, here we go. Boom! Silk touch. Screw you, Minecraft. Seriously. Alright, so we got another freaking silk touch. Alright, let's put that back. Put those back. Okay, alright, so let me show you guys what I've got in mind up here. And we still need to do lighting in here. Okay, this area has been under construction for a really long time, and it's gonna need a little bit of an update Because if you'll notice, there is one block, well, 2 blocks, okay, between the ceiling and the floor up there. That is no bueno at all. So I am going to have to dig this area out a little bit. I think I'm going to start with just 1 block, just to see how it feels. Just take out a small area here, and I think those were leftovers from when we dug this place out. Like, it was like coal and stuff. So we're gonna see how this goes, and we'll probably be working on this part of the castle for a little while, and then I actually had I was looking at the board earlier, and one of the things that that Joel had suggested was a panic room. And I put it on the board, and I was sort of like, well, I don't really know what I would do with a panic room. Well, not necessarily do, what I would do for a panic room. And, because when it was suggested, it was sort of like, I don't really know what I would do to make it interesting. Now I think I've got a couple interesting ideas, so it sort of just came to me, so I'm actually going to play around with that in my head for a little while, and then see how it goes. But I think I've got a pretty cool idea cooked up. I'm going to have to get with the bear on it and see how feasible it is, because when I think about things, I think about what will be cool, not necessarily what will be feasible. So I am definitely going to come up with something cool that'll make Joel proud, and I think you guys will enjoy it as well. But that's all I'm saying for now. That is it, because it's just a very, very tiny idea in my mind. Alright, so I've got a couple things that I'm going to talk about, and one of them is going to be kind of ranty, a little bit, I'm warning you guys now. Because Microsoft has this idea, and I don't really think it's a good idea at all, but I'm going to talk about it because everybody seems to be talking about this like it's a cool/good idea, which I really, really, really disagree with. So basically the idea goes that you have a room, like a theater room, or like a den or something in your house, your apartment, a space where you have your Xbox/TV. Okay, so Microsoft wants you to put a projector on like your coffee table to project blurry ambient scenery from your game onto your wall. Now, believe it or not, this is actually not a new idea. There have been several TV makers in the past. One particular one that I remember was a TV from Philips, and their idea was very similar. They had colored lighting on the sides of the television that would adjust to sort of like the mood of the scene of whatever you were watching. So if you're watching like TV and it's like one of those dark, like, I don't know, like a zombie show or something like that, and it's like, dark warehouse, ooh, it would be like maybe like dark blue or something like that. Or if it was a sunset, it would be kind of maybe a yellowish red. And, it would sort of just project these lights back onto the wall. Now, I had to sell these TVs, and I can tell you they were incredibly distracting. Watching this TV with the ambient lighting on was absolutely terrible, because it completely distracted you. Or at least it did for me. I felt like it detracted from the experience of watching whatever you were watching much more than anything else could have. And it was generally really small. So, I mean, I can't really see that this would be any different at all. I mean, projecting blurry scenery onto your wall or your like your entertainment cabinet or something like that just seems, this is like, why? It seems frivolous. Like, Microsoft has some pretty good and also some pretty bad ideas, and I sort of wonder if they just put all of their ideas up on a dartboard and throw darts and say, okay, this is the one that we're going to release or talk about this, time this month or whatever. Because it's like, why? I don't see what this would add. Because, I mean, if you're playing like a game and something is in your peripheral vision, it's going to be far too blurry for you to make out what it is. And, is this going to be, is it a bad guy? Is it a good guy? Is it just a friggin' NPC? What is it? You're never going to be able to find out. Okay. So, I'm still not feeling the depth on this, so we're going to have to go down one more. And I think that should do it. So basically, it's an extremely expensive idea that literally provides you with nothing. I can't see any value to it. So it's sort of just like, why? And I guess that's what bothered me. It's not the fact that it sucks. I mean, Microsoft comes out with stuff that sucks all the time. I mean, look at Kinect. But I guess because I've experienced it before, I've been in a place where I've seen something like that, and I think that they should know better. But maybe I'm asking too much. I don't know. But anyways, I'm just going to /rant that right there and leave that on the table. Because whatever it is, whatever it is, it's a gimmick, and I doubt it will ever become a reality. So, whatevs. Alright, so moving on. This was incredibly interesting to me, and I felt sort of proxy angry about this, and I wasn't even affected at all. So there's like this esports association, let's call them that. Apparently they do esports stuff, right? So I don't really know much about them. I sort of read this and I thought that this was incredibly shady, to say the least. Oh, that was gravel. So basically, I guess they have this launcher for some sort of game, okay, or launcher that launches games, whatever. Anyways, it was this official esports launcher that you could download from them, and as a quote-unquote April Fool's joke, they inserted code into the launcher that would essentially, I'm going to use this word and I'm going to use it in the negative meaning, to literally hijack your computer and use it to mine for bitcoins. Okay, so a little bit of background for people who don't know what that means. Basically, bitcoins are what are called a cryptocurrency, and they have this really long encrypted number that represents that Bitcoin. So if you have, and now I don't really understand this myself, so this could be wrong, but basically if you can run enough computing power and guess a crypto number that corresponds with a Bitcoin, you get to keep the Bitcoin. Like, really. And Bitcoins are worth like $75 a pop in conversions. So they pretty much were able to mine up, I think it was like 35 bitcoins, and they made like $3,500 or something like that. And it's sort of like this. Yeah, it's real. People have knocked this Bitcoin. It's saying that it's pretty much never going to go anywhere, which is entirely likely. I mean, the thing has been, like was worth like a ton, and then it was worth nothing the next day, and then it was worth something again the next day after that. So, whatever. But it's sort of like becoming a thing, and they claimed that they quote unquote forgot to, or they thought that they removed the code in an update after April 1st, but some savvy users noticed that their graphics cards were working kind of hard for not doing anything, just sitting on the Windows desktop. Their cards were working pretty hard, and I guess some savvy hackers reverse engineered the code, and they found this. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry, we didn't mean it as a mistake, blah, 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 blah. And it's sort of like, wait, why on earth would you ever do that in the first place? I mean, they claim it's an April Fool's joke. I'm like, wait, what? Like, lol. Yeah, and they didn't tell anybody. And then it's sort of like, lol, we used your computer to make money for ourselves. Aren't you a sucker? It's like, what? I mean, I don't see how that is in any way, shape, or form anything close to an April Fool's joke. I'm completely flabbergasted that a esports association would try something like that and then try and play it off. It's like, what the hell? I mean, in my personal opinion, I would say that it was illegal, like actually illegal, because they did it in a clandestine manner. They obviously had no intentions of telling anybody that they were just gonna, forget about it for as long as they possibly could. Because it's basically free money. And they were using up people's resources. Now, it's entirely different if those people, say, opted to donate their idle processing power to something like, cancer research, like folding at home, or, solving malaria or something like that, where the user had to sort of like opt in and they know what they're doing. And I've seen some people argue that, well, it's not really that big a deal. I got plenty of processing power and I wasn't using the computer anyways. But does that really make it okay? I don't think so. I really don't. It's sort of like somebody just coming in and walking into your backyard and then using your barbecue and just being like, oh, well, you weren't using it anyways. So that gives you the right to use it? No, it's my barbecue. If you want to use it, you have to ask, and you have to ask my permission. So I guess this is sort of like bringing up a digital property rights sort of thing. Like, when is it trespassing to, essentially violate my computer's, personal space and use it for something that I don't approve of? So I thought it was interesting, and I thought that there was the potential here for a pretty robust discussion on property rights, and I'm gonna do slabs. So I think that it's really something that people in general should be talking about, because I think it's important. So I don't know if anybody will actually have that conversation. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But it certainly made me stop and think. It sort of reminded me of Pando Media Booster. If you guys have ever installed certain MMOs, free-to-play specifically, there's this Pando Media Booster that gets installed, and pretty much leeches your internet connection to BitTorrent. Oh my gosh, these quartz blocks aren't going to last very long, are they? Pretty much they use your connection to share the client with other people, and a lot of other clients and things like that have used it. World of Warcraft's launcher does it for patches now too. So I mean, it's sort of like, but it's sort of like okay then, because you sort of understand that that's what they're doing, and it's beneficial. Pando not so much, because they sort of abuse it, in my opinion. So I always pretty much remove Pando Media Booster when I see it on my computer, and it doesn't stay on any second longer than it absolutely has to. So that's my opinion. All right, let's see how this looks. Can't put torches here. Yes, it's like installing those Ask toolbars and stuff. Oh my gosh, those things are just terrible. Okay, let's see what else we have available to muck up this room with. I am not sure I'm feeling the quartz, but let's see here. I'm not sure that I'm feeling half slabs, to be honest, so we're just gonna have to go through and find out what we got here. I'm in the wrong room. I'm in the precious stone room. I need to be in the common stone room. There we go. Alright, so there's some bricks. Let's take some smooth stone. Let's see here. There's just some stone brick half slabs. Ah! Here we go. There's a ton of smooth stone bricks. Okay, alright. Cool. Alright, so maybe we can mix these together with some sort of pattern. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see. But yeah, so that was a thing that happened. Alright, let's boop. Stone half slabs. Put these down. So let me see, what else do I got here? Oh, yes. There is a new camera that has been developed, and I actually find it really cool. So basically it's an array of little tiny lenses, and it's based on a bug's eye. So you know how, like, if you've ever looked at a close-up picture of something like a fly, it's got like tons of little lenses all over the place, and it can see like all the way around. It's I'm making a circle with my hand around my head, but you guys can't see it. All right, let's see here. Let's do. Oops, I need some slabs. 28 is not going to be enough. So you know how they can see this really like 180 degrees is what this camera can do, because it's based on those fly eyes, and it's really cool, I think. And it's sort of like, I guess they can use them in mobile phones, and it gives you almost infinite depth of field. So pretty much what that means is the image will be focused throughout the image. So if stuff is far away, that'll be in focus, as well as stuff up close. Whereas cameras typically have depth of field thresholds like our normal eyes do. And the reason why they have depth of field is because it makes it more natural for us to look at. Because if you look at something that's, right in front of your face, and you sort of use your peripheral vision to look at something that's behind it, it's going to be all blurry. And that's what depth of field is. Things in the foreground are blurry, things in the background, or I'm sorry, reverse that. Things in the foreground are clear when focused, and things in the background are blurry. So let's just take a look at this. I am thinking I like these stone slabs the most. I may mix it up with the quartz. I think that might be a good way to go. Maybe get some sort of cool pattern going on in here. I think that'll be cool. So yeah, so depth of field. So it's got like almost infinite depth of field, and it can see 180 degrees just like a fly can, which is actually pretty cool. So, you know, that should be a thing pretty soon. And I was actually sort of surprised because I actually was a little bit confused because I thought it was something that I had read about earlier, which was almost the same thing. You know, just glancing at it, I just confused the two, which is a 16 image sensor camera array that was developed by Nokia with some other technology company. But it's not the same thing, which is actually pretty neat because there haven't been a lot of major advances in technology, or imaging technology, I should say. We've pretty much just been improving on what we already have, which is CMOS and CCD sensors. So, you know, they're kind of power hungry. They're from a long time ago, and, you know, people didn't really know, you know, the implications of them. You know, cameras, you know, video cameras had, you know, gigantic lead acid batteries that weighed like literally like 37 tons. So yeah, literally. So it's kind of cool to see some new stuff roll out. And I haven't seen, I didn't get a chance to look at the reference images before I started recording. But it should turn out to be pretty cool. And, you know, I'm sort of happy to see that there are some advances in technology being made and not just iterations, you know, making, oh, this thing that we already have slightly better. You know, we're coming up with new stuff, and now what we need to do is just get movement in the battery department so that we can have the power to freaking run these new cool devices that we're coming up with. That's actually sort of the reason why we haven't really been developing new technologies, because typically when you develop a new technology, it's not as efficient as it can be, or something that's slightly older. So generally, people or companies, when they're dealing with, you know, a crunch on energy, they'll opt for the not as good but more efficient older technology, because it's smaller, it's more efficient. You know, it might not be as good as the new stuff, but it doesn't take up as much, you know, precious power. So it's just sort of one of those things. So there are a lot of advances in technology that we need to have happen in order for us to really take the next leap. And I think it's been overdue for quite some time. I think we've been stagnant as far as new technology is concerned. So, you know, hopefully we'll see some of those things pop up here in the next, you know, couple years or so. And let's see here. Oh, this is cool. Commercial space flight. Yes. For those of you who are familiar with commercial space flight, which is space flight for people like you and I, well, not you and me, because we can't afford, like, you know, $150,000 a ticket, but the Virgin Galactic, which is a spaceship, a consumer-grade spaceship that was built by Virgin, by Richard Branson, who's this rich, crazy guy who loves space. Basically, his Virgin Galactic 2 did a test flight and successfully broke the sound barrier, and it was very good. So that is awesome news to hear. So maybe one day there will be like a moon colony or something, and we'll like go on vacation there. That would be actually, you know, that actually probably wouldn't be all that cool. I think that going into space would probably be cooler than going to the moon for a vacation. But you know what? Maybe in 30 years, maybe I'll eat my words. You know, maybe the moon will be like the hottest, you know, vacation spot. Maybe, you know, nobody want to go to Hawaii anymore. Everybody wants to go to the moon, which, you know, I would totally be okay with. But I think for me, I just want to go to space. I just want to be in zero gravity. I want to, you know, order a juice box from the flight attendant, and I want to put the straw in, and I want to squeeze it out and watch it float and bubble, and then like eat it out of the air. Yeah, I know. I am. I probably would, but I totally want to do that because I see astronauts doing that all the time, where they're like shooting water in zero gravity and stuff like that. I so want to do that. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I probably would get kicked off. And then I'd be all sad. But, what are they going to do? Kick me out of the vacuum? Kick me out the airlock? I don't think so. I don't think there's really anything they can do. They just see me going out in space, and I'm like, no. And then I just have to, pull a whatever that guy with that Red Bull guy and fall back to Earth with, just a parachute. So, yeah. So I'd probably get kicked off. No doubt. No! Alright, there we go. Come back. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's start removing these. It's going to be dark in here for a while. I'm going to have to place some torches. Alright. But I think this is actually coming along pretty well. I'm feeling the height now. I really am. I think it's good. I don't think I need to go down 1 or 2 more blocks. I think that it might be just a little bit excessive, but we're gonna have to see. Let's get this place lit up nice and good. I don't want to put my money where my mouth is right now, because I am thinking that I might change my mind. Because I'm looking at this, and it seems okay, but it only seems okay. You know what I'm saying? It seems like it needs a little bit more. It's not grand enough, It's tall, but it's not grand. So I may have to cut this down another block or 2. But as far as things are going, I'm feeling the floor. Definitely feeling the floor. I'm not really sure what I want to do as far as the pattern goes with the quartz. I'm not even sure that I really like it. Let's get up in here in some light. See some of this, what's going on. I almost think it makes the floor look dirty with the quartz, because the quartz is so white and the stone is so gray. So may not end up doing that at all. Let me just go with just straight stone slabs. I think that'll be good. Yeah. Alright, and then we'll start working on a table, and it'll be all sorts of awesome goodness. So, okay, so that's going to be it for today. We got quite a bit of work done. I need to go fortune the rest of that quartz and, get all that stuff done. You still got fish? Look at that bear eating fish. So cute. Alright guys, so thank you for joining us for another episode of KigerCraft. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's go say hi to Mr. Piggles. So I thank you guys for joining us, and I hope we see you next time. Take care.